Yeah, it's rough. Yeah, it's stupid.
I believe it started when I was around 6 years old. My parents often had friends over in the house. I didn't know they were polyamorous, of course. One day I was outside playing, got hurt, and when I ran inside, I caught my parents making out with some random guy. They told me that they have other adults that they love, and it's a completely normal thing. Me, being a child, just accepted that. They gave up being secretive, and their partners would constantly be around, even joining on outings. I remember that on my 10th birthday, they invited three of their partners, one of whom I'd never seen before, and for the rest of the day, my parents just withdrew from the party and hung out with them. I never saw them doing anything explicit again, but they would kiss their partners, hug them, make flirty comments, something that would be normal between parents, but with many more people. Sometimes I came home from school and my parents were gone, and there was some random adult in our house. Some of them seemed surprised that my parents even had a child. I always hated it, but since my parents told me that this was normal, I assumed that many adults probably did similar things and that it's just an adult thing that all kids hate. Later, they had less partners and eventually seemed to stop. Not that I'd know for sure, because I moved out at age 17. I didn't think about it anymore. A year ago, I started therapy for other reasons. As usual, the topic of my upbringing came up, and it brought back many feelings that I wasn't aware of. I realized that although my parents were always good to me, I had never really felt close to any of them and still have a lot of resentment that they made me feel like I had to compete for my parents' attention with random strangers. A while ago, I visited them, and they told me that they were going to take part in a documentary about polyamorous families and that the producers would like to include interviews with the children. So they would love it if I would agree and tell everyone that polyamory doesn't mess kids up. All of my resentment bubbled up, and I said that I cannot agree because I wouldn't be able to say anything positive. My parents looked shocked. I had never brought this up before and asked why, and I unloaded everything that I always felt pushed aside, and we barely had any family time without strangers intruding. It turned into an argument, and I became loud and yelled that the truth is it did screw me up, and they shouldn't have had a child if their number one priority was screwing the whole world. My mother cried, and my father said I should probably leave. So I left and was shaken up for the rest of the week, but also felt regret because I've never made my mom cry before. Later, my father sent me a message that was like, "We're sorry you feel that way. Can we have a calm discussion about this soon?" Even though I tried to, it's like I can't reply. This argument brought something very emotional up in me. Am I the butthole for hurting my parents over this, especially since I've never brought it up before?
This isn't as bad as the other one.
No.
Yeah, whew, I thought it was going to be way worse.
In my community, there, and I'm speaking my local community, not just the LGBTQ, there's a really big difference between having open relationships, like was displayed in that story, and a polyamorous relationship. And depending on, I know people who have children who also want to follow their lifestyle and their love style. You only expose them to the least amount having people just come in and out of your child's life. Yes, that's detrimental. And I would know people that would say, like, we would have age appropriate discussions. This is not something that would ever be put in front of a child. Not even a kiss hello. When they get to be older, that's a different story. But no, this is child abuse in my eyes, and you know, Tracy, you better go.
I'm gonna say the unpopular Christian answer to this question of polyamorous. For what? I don't get it. I don't understand it. I'm too. I guess I'm too selfish to share my mate with somebody else. So, a warning to all the men out there: if you're into multiple partners, I'm not gonna be the girl for you. That's not my life. I'm not gonna run my life like that. You find you somebody else because I ain't gonna be the one. First of all, yeah, I'm gonna say it, you're trifling. You're trifling.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can do you, boo. You want to be with 10,000 partners and somehow still be married and tell me there's no emotional ties to all those partners? You're lying. You're sitting here, you're lying. And then you neglected your own children for what? 2 seconds, 3 seconds? I don't know how long it takes you all to do whatever it is you're doing, but you're trifling. You are trifling for putting your children second. Your children are supposed to come before you.
Yeah.
Before you, your interest. Even if they didn't have children, I would still say yuck. That's just me. That I told you I'm gonna give the answer I'm gonna give, and I don't really care. You can't stick with just one okay, that's fine. You want to have multiple partners and still somehow go home to each other? Do you? That's your business. I don't need to hear about it. Don't tell me. I don't need to know. I don't want to know. I don't want to be in that kind of relationship. I won't be in that kind of relationship because I don't play side chick very well. I don't do it well. It's either me or nothing or somebody else. But me. But y'all garbage. Y'all are garbage. If you know y'all
You
was
leave
into
your kid's birthday party.
you left.
You
That's what
can't
the
even hold on.
the children came home and they found some random. He came home and found. I'm assuming this is a random person. Then you lied and told, "Oh, this is normal." It's bad enough catching your parents in the act, and
No,
it's
it's
just
not normal
monogamous.
to.
That's an image you will never get out of your brain. But to catch
Yeah.
your parents and then somebody else, oh no, you didn't damage this child. Oh, you didn't. Yeah, he said he may have exploded in an inappropriate way. But then, as I think about it, I'm like, they put a lot on that child. First of all, they lied and said, "Oh, everybody doing this. Everybody ain't doing this.
No.
Everybody ain't doing this. Everybody, not everybody. Everybody ain't doing this. They're not." And for you to lie, you left your child's birthday party. Oh my goodness, you're a piece of garbage.
Mm-hmm.
You two, ma'am and sir, or ma'am and ma'am or sir, so whatever you are, y'all
Sounded
trash.
like a ma'am and a sir who had a kid, and
Weren't ready to be parents? Oh my goodness.
yeah.
They left their child's birthday party, which means some hookup is more
Mm-hmm.
important than their child. I would say garbage if this was a single parent that left their child with a relative so they could go have a hookup. I would say the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Y'all are trash. Trash, 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 trash. I would almost say don't speak to them, but of course I believe in forgiveness. I absolutely do. But it gonna take a minute because y'all trash. Trash, trash, trash. Trash.
This is that sound like Eddie Palmer amorous. I'll never say that word correctly, but y'all know what I'm going with. Relationship I've ever heard of. It sounds like
poly.
partner swapping. The only reason I even put this up, Susan, not that I'm disagreeing with you, but OP, I hate to tell you this, but I'm taking it in a different direction for you. your whole childhood would have been exactly the same if your parents would have joined a bowling league. It just so happened to be this. But your parents just wasn't into you. Sorry, I hate to say it but I really feel that way. Because there's no act that they're doing right now that you would treat your child like this. They just wasn't into you. They wanted to do their own thing. And sorry, but it just really felt like you really wasn't in the mix. You wasn't in the cards. So it happened to be this act, because I'm trying not to say that word incorrectly like 50,000 times on here. It happens to be this act that they're using for the reason they treated you the way they treated you. And they still don't get it. I am a firm understander of apologies. And when somebody say, I'm sorry you feel that way, is not an apology.
That's not an apology.
That's not an apology. I'm sorry that I made you feel that way is an apology. Not I'm sorry you feel that way. I'm not sorry what I did. I'm just sorry that you took it that way is what they're saying.
Which means I'm not really sorry.
No, I'm not sorry for what I did. I'm sorry for how you took it.
No, that's not being really sorry. Because if you truly were repentant, you would say, I was wrong in the way that I made you feel.
No, they're not taking any responsibility for what they did.
Of course not. They ditched their child's birthday party to go have a hookup. Yeah. Trifling.
It just happened
but that was not polyamory. That was satisfying your libido.
That was horniness. That's all that was. That was, hey. But like I said, take all sex out of it. It just happens to be this act. They could have joined a bowling league. They could have joined a country club. They could have been golfing. They could have really loved skiing. They could have really loved gaming. They could have really loved race car driving. Any action, any other event, I guarantee you it would have been the exact same thing.
Yeah, because they're terrible people.
But watching your parents play a golf game doesn't scar you like watching.
Yeah, sure doesn't. Sitting here watching my parents make out with some other person.
Yeah.
But the time, what I'm more on is the time frame of being around with you. Like, okay, instead of you coming home and there's another person in your house and your parents not there, you come home and your parents not there. And not there, and still not there. And you don't know when they coming home. They was there when you left. You don't know when they coming home that night. And they're not there over the weekend either. And your birthday, yeah, it is a little worse of having 50 million people and you're leaving your child so they can go and enjoy themselves. Or they can have we got to go because I have to get to a golf tournament in an hour, so go play and hurry up.
But Marlon, that's not it's the same, but it's not the same.
No, it's the same, it's just not worse. I understand what you're saying. It's the same, it's just not worse. All I'm saying is these people just wasn't into this kid.
No.
Obviously.
And young man, you do not owe you are not the butthole. You are not owe your parents.
No, they are. Literally.
Anytime.
That is just like...
Go back to your therapist. Talk with them.
Yeah, and don't talk to your
really
parents.
Really sorry.
Because they trifling. Trifling.
See, now, if we get wind that something is happening like that in our community, we speak up. This is actually why I would encourage everybody who maybe you're a little bit different than others in what gets you off or how you want to live. That's okay. there are still right and wrong ways, and there are laws in states. So come join a community. We can educate you and hopefully keep you from doing assholey things like this.
And again, this is just trifling. That's
This-
literally.
You've literally made that perfectly clear.
I know, but I can't really think of nothing else I can say.
Trifling and trashy.
No, I
Yeah.
said garbage. But